You were regrettably expendable, my dear.
Hello everyone, it's Miss Parker and Fleshy Nada. And today I'm featuring another Glacial Augment build from the Renata main server. This one's featuring slightly different item set than the previous one, so I hope you all enjoy. Thank you. another really fun game with Glacial Augment. I really, have begun enjoying that rune. I didn't really try it too much until I started the series and was kind of forced to try it. And now, even after, like, I've recorded all the games and everything, I still occasionally choose to go Glacial Augment. And I really do enjoy it. Game. Unfortunately, DRAVEN and NAMI. It's a really hard matchup for Renata for sure, and DRAVEN did go cleanse as well. So I started the game and I was like, I am never gonna be able to get my ultimate on that guy. Like, unless he cleanses something just beforehand and then I'm able to ult. I don't think I'm ever gonna get it on him, but thankfully it didn't end up being too much of a problem. Our jungler was really proactive and ganked us really early on, so we were able to get a kill on NAMI. I flashed after the initial unlock-up so I could get my Glacial Augment proc and secure that kill on NAMI. We very narrowly killed DRAVEN. Unfortunately, he was still hanging on to that exhaust, so he was able to kind of get away. But Talia definitely helped our lane out because of that. Otherwise, it was kind of going to be just us farming. Speaking of farming, when it comes to NAMI, she outranges Renata. I think like all of her spells, like Renata's auto attacks are outranged. I think my E is the same range as her W, but it's like when it comes to poking, Renata's going to get poked out by NAMI. So I went Relic Shield to try to have a more convenient way of getting my money and try to help JINX. So I wanted to be as far away as DRAVEN as possible. He just out damages us for most of the game. So I just wanted to be as far away as possible and just be helping JINX farm. But with Talia's gank, that definitely helped us get ahead there. Talia ganked a second time, pretty similar to the first gank. We managed to get NAMI. I wish JINX was like still kind of following me up. I think she didn't think we were going to get anything, but I did manage to land a Q on DRAVEN. I think I still had my Glacial Augment as well, so if she was a little bit closer, she could have killed him for sure. We wouldn't have had to rely on her trying to land her R, but DRAVEN was like skinny. He like dodged that thing by, by like a pixel. It was crazy. But yeah, that was good. Unfortunately, JINX got caught out by Moo in the river. I made a good call and didn't try to go help her. She flashed like before she got close enough to the wall, so I was like, yeah, she's not gonna make it. So I went the other way, and I think that was a good decision. I don't think even if I put W on her that she would have been able to get a kill and revive there. So it would have just been a double for DRAVEN. And then that gave them the first Drake. But then the second Drake came around. I landed a Q on a Moo after the NAMI R. Unfortunately, his Q went off after mine, so he was able to get on top of me. He ulted. And then at some point during all of that CC, I managed to press my R, and it went off like as I was getting thrown by Azir, and Talia and JINX were able to clean that up. But yeah, kind of a crazy fight there for sure. After that, I like rotated top to try to help Urgot. JINX and I went mid. It wasn't too, like, I wasn't too stressed out about that game. I think like all lanes were winning pretty hard. Talia ganking us early got bot lane ahead. I think definitely like there could have been a fight, maybe like a coin flip kind of bear fight, or if they won that, they could have won the game. But we were pretty comfortably ahead for most of the game. Unfortunately, JINX did get caught mid lane. I was coming towards her, but she like got bursted on the spot, and then Amumu ulted me, but I think I was a bit tankier than he expected, so he wasn't able to kill me there. And you did see I went a bit tankier version of the Glacial Augment build. I went Locket, then Mandate, and then I was building into Knight's Vow, but the game ended before I finished that. But yeah, it was a good game overall. I landed a couple good ultimates and was able to kind of get JINX ahead there. We had that really close fight in mid lane against Azir and Amumu, where I'm really glad I did save my W so that she was able to get that revive and survive there. I hear a lot of people say that they just put W on early just to give their ADC that extra attack speed and movement speed. But it just has such a long cooldown. I really recommend if you're starting to get into Renata, just save it as long as you can, unless you're really confident that they're going to be healthy enough that fight, because otherwise it's just not going to be up in time. Like, fights are so quick and Renata's cooldowns are so incredibly long. I mean, I still need to work on not spamming my spells and laning, because they are so much longer than most enchantress, enemy enchantresses that we go against. Not this game in particular, but today I played against a Lulu, and she was able to E her ADC multiple times in the span of like a minute, and she still had so much mana. I E like maybe twice, and then I've got like 60% of my mana bar. Renata just can't keep up to a lot of enchantresses when it comes to that, so you have to really bear that in mind. You have really, really long cooldowns. And that's just how it is, unfortunately. But yeah, really, really fun game, and we were able to win that. It is one of the few games that I recorded for the series that was a ranked game, so that was kind of fun to use one of your guys' builds in a ranked setting. But yeah, on to the next. Thank you. I always hate games that end like this. And this was one of the games, like, normally... This was like a game where I was, like, wanting to pull my hair out. It was just so frustrating. NEEKO support lately has been just such a nightmare. Specifically for Renata, I feel like if you were playing any other champion, maybe it wouldn't be such a big deal. Like, maybe if I was Lux, I would be able to punish her when she was, like, attacking us under turret. But despite us getting first blood and APHELIOS being able to, like, go back, buy an item, like, come back to lane with the extra item, I got bursted, like, really early under turret, and that was my own fault. I wish he had heal. If he had heal, I think I would have been fine, but he took ghost, and that's fine. She just does so much damage. And, like, with the Dark Harvest burst, I just got killed under turret, like, at level 2. And yeah, like, I don't want to, like, say, oh, I was playing perfectly. Like, that's so broken. Obviously, like, I got hit by all the spells. Like, that's my own fault, but really frustrating. And then we, like, kill EZREAL under our turret because he misplayed. And we get dove by the Darius mid. Well, I get dove. APHELIOS is already dead. And then, like, he types to me, Renata, ult, and it's, like, I had just enough mana to be able to W myself, but not enough to be able to ult. So after I W'd myself to buy myself time to be able to ult, I was dead. This is, like, such, like, watching it back, like, it was frustrating at the time, but watching it back, like, it's another level of frustration, because one, our Ahri top lane, we had no AP, okay? We had no AP whatsoever. Our movement went tank, which is good, because we needed a tank, because we had an Ahri top lane. She must have watched the Bob Quinn video on YouTube and was like, okay, we've got an all AD team. I'm gonna lock in Ahri. I'm gonna go AD Ahri. And while that worked, she was winning at first, but then the rest of the game, she was just dying constantly, teleporting in, dying. And I was duoed with our mid laner, but he was not roaming with Darius. So Darius was just roaming on everybody. Like, he was roaming on top, he dove us bot. Darius was just so strong. And then late game, Silas was just the biggest pain as well. Like, I think it felt like he was constantly on me. He only killed me, like, twice. But it felt like he was just always on me. I was able to revive myself with my W and then still die to him. And it was just so frustrating that I was, like, this close to being able to get away. But he was just so fed that he was, yeah, it was just very frustrating. Very frustrating game. So I was going to, you know, go mandate right away, but with the damage that NEEKO was doing and then Silas was doing, I ended up going, like, full MR, like, right away. I got, like, the, what is it? Not Winter's Approach, I don't remember what it's called, the front. One of the MR items, I can't remember all of a sudden. And then, like, Abyssal Mask. Probably should have gone Spirit Visage for the shield buff, but I think I was just looking for anything with MR at that point. And, yeah, so built that, then started going Mandy. And at that point, like, I was like, this game is over, because Ahri's always dead, and I am, like, useless. Like, NEEKO attacks me in our base. I only survive because I have Locket, all my Abyssal Mask, my MR items. I'm able to just barely survive after flashing away and using Locket. I healed up. She's still able to push into our base, take our 2 Nexus turrets, and I can't do anything. I ult so that she's attacking her own minions instead of hitting our turret. There's literally nothing I can do. It is one of those games where it reminds me, and I don't say it often. Usually I'm like, Renata's fine. She's in a good spot. But this was one of those games where I was like, she is useless. I can't do anything by myself whatsoever. But NEEKO is able to take 3 turrets by herself and nearly kill me. I have to go heal, come back, and I can't do anything to stop her. I have no damage. I am only able to survive because I went full tank. And I can't do anything. If APHELIOS didn't come back, I mean, I might have been able to get her low enough where she'd back off. But at that point, like, I can't do anything. And I'll probably make another video specifically about this topic, but I'm really frustrated about it, so I think I'll say it now. And somebody mentioned it in the Renata server, where they feel like there aren't very many support items, specifically Enchantress items. And at first I was like, oh, what? And then I was sitting back, and you know, like, yesterday I played all night, ranked, all night. And it was just loss after loss after loss. And most of it was because of the team. But it really made me think about what a bad position support is in general. Like, yeah, we don't have any items. I only win games purely because there is somebody on my team that I am able to help funnel, and that's it. It is not up to me. I can do whatever I can not to die in lane. I can flash Q, get my ADC all the kills I want, but in the end, it is not up to me. It is completely out of my control if we win or not. Like, I can have some kind of influence, sure, but, you know, that influence is whether or not I feed. And then after that, it is not up to me. And I can go lock it. I can shield, you know, my team. I can go Cerullias. I can give us a movement speed boost. But after that, all of our items, they really are lackluster. And that person in the Discord mentioned, like, some ideas, like debuffs, you know. And I was imagining for a moment how nice it would be if there was, like, a support item that was, like, anti-support, you know? So it would be like an item you could build on Renata, and it would reduce the shielding of other supports that have, like, better shielding than you. You know, kind of like a Serpent's Fang, but for supports to build, you know? So maybe, like, CDR, or, you know, something like that. I feel so useless. And, like, this game, too. This game, you know, watching it back is just like a nail in the coffin. Like, I am so useless. Like, I mean, obviously, I didn't play good when I died under the turret. And I made mistakes. I died to Silas when I was trying to, you know, I was warding our jungle. He happened to be there. I died. But I'm useless. So I'll make a whole video about it probably, because I've been playing so much League lately, and I've just become so frustrated by it. And I'm normally not. I'm obsessed with this game. Like, this is the only game I play, okay? I don't play anything else. League is the only game I play. I'm currently on short-term disability. So it's even, you know, even before, obviously, I played a lot. I'm playing more now, right? And I was like, I want to, you know, get out of, I want to go beyond Emerald. But I've become so disillusioned with it because I am so out of control. It is so frustrating that the champion I love with my whole heart, that is the only reason that I'm probably playing this game, that she is bound to this useless role and made in a way that she can't be played anywhere else. So I have to keep playing this role where I am utterly useless, but even if I take her in other lanes and I do well, she doesn't do enough damage to be able to carry. Not that I know if I can carry. I'm not used to being able to do that. I don't think I have it in me to know the shot calls to make and stuff. But the fact that I don't have the option is annoying. And of course, like, people will be like, well, then play another champion. You know, play another role. It's just frustrating. I don't have a, you know, it feels like I don't have a choice. It's either I do or I don't. Do I want to play Renata? Yes, then I have to play her support. You know, and there's nothing else I can do about it. And there's nothing unique to, you know, build. And it's really frustrating. It's really frustrating. Sorry for the long-winded rant, the long-winded rant of mine. But this game, it was looking really lost. But then I landed a really good ultimate in top lane that really turned it around for us. It was really seeming hopeful, even though we had like an open nexus. We took their mid turret, we go bot, Ari dies. Still looking okay. Alright, like, we're still getting kills, we're pushing into their turrets. And then NEEKO is able to run up mid lane, and with her W, you know, she's able to just have like crazy movement speed to just run up there, and we back, and she's able to just end it. It was yeah, it was really frustrating. I felt like this didn't help. This guy was just typing, and I get he was frustrated. I was frustrated. I think everybody was frustrated that we were losing, that NEEKO was just able to come up and one-shot our ADC, and like I wasn't able to do anything about it. Like, I had Locket, it wasn't enough. I had W, but you know, even if like I put it on him, he wouldn't have enough time to like get a kill and revive. It was a really frustrating game all around. And I mean, obviously it didn't help that our top laner wanted to try to be Bob Quinn. No offense to Bob Quinn, I watch his videos, I adore him. It wasn't the time to go ADR. And they kept playing like they were a tank or like fed, and they weren't, and they just kept dying, and so we were constantly a player short. Just a super frustrating game, and really unfortunate that we ended up losing that when it seemed like we had just turned it around. It's, you know, I got like my hopes up, and then they were dashed again, and it was just really frustrating. And I think I can't even like say it's necessarily like a support diff, because she wasn't a support. She was like an entire solo laner who was able to just build, you know, Rabadons and Protobelt and have insane damage. And be, you know, it was her and I couldn't defend our base whatsoever against another support. I almost wish, like, it wasn't allowed to, you know, it wasn't allowed for people to, like, lock in mages from mid lane as supports, you know, to some degree, because it just feels so unfair. There's no competition. You know, if I was playing Renata, if I was playing Lulu, if I was playing Nami or Janna, I still wouldn't have been able to defend it from her. And that's really frustrating. I don't know. I keep saying that. Frustrating. It's so frustrating. And that's all I can really say about it. I don't know. I wish it was different. I wish there was more items for supports, or that you know, there was something. I don't even know what it could be. I don't, you know, balance the game, but I can, you know, do everything I can, and I can't defend a turret against the enemy NEEKO. I don't know. It's just lately it feels like it's just been more salt in the wound, and like I want to be like, I think I should take a break from League, probably, just because it's been growing so stressful and so upsetting for me. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. But thank you all for joining me for this one. Stardust Flowers, I had a lot of fun with your rune page. I really enjoy Glacial Augment. I'm sorry I didn't really go the other items that you recommended. Like, I wanted to be able to just go, like, Mandate Nashers, you know, all that good stuff. I decided to do it in a ranked game, though, and the cards I was dealt, it wasn't a good place for me to try to do that. It was better for me to go tankier. So sorry I wasn't able to quite do that. You know, I wanted to do your builds a justice like I had for everyone else so far. I usually kept pretty close to what they said. So I'm sorry about that. But I do hope you enjoyed. I'm sorry to end on such a sour note. I think it's been kind of accumulating within me, and watching and editing over this video, I was just growing more and more, you know, upset with how it's been. But yeah, we've got a couple more builds left, and then we'll be done with the series. I don't know what I'll do from then on, but I'd like to continue producing videos more frequently. It is really fun. I have a lot of fun finding music, you know, trying to produce content that I hope people will enjoy watching. Especially the few people that do play Renata. I really do hope you enjoy. But yeah, thank you all, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.